Welcome to the 2012 Railroad Hobby Show here in West Springfield, Massachusetts. We're here with Larry from the Quaboag Valley Railroad Group, and Larry's going to tell us a little bit about their layout. But before he does, first of all, Larry, congratulations on winning Best in Show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Fantastic layout, and I think one of the reasons you guys are successful is about the common theme. Tell us about the theme of the layout.
Well, first of all, our layout is about 15 years old. Our club started in 1997. And when we started our club, we were actually asked to put together a layout by the show director then, Robert Buck. When we started thinking about what the layout was going to look like, and knowing that it was going to be a modular layout, it was going to come together in sections, and that each member would own their own sections. We had looked around at some of the other modular layouts here at the club, and we saw some great ideas out there. But one thing we noticed about a lot of layouts was the fact that it seemed like each person that had their own module had a little different theme. We wanted to have something more consistent, so the entire layout seemed to blend together, would all work together with one particular theme. So with that said, we picked New England, being that we come from New England, from East Brookfield. We decided we'd stick with that theme. Not a particular era or anything like that, because we all model different eras, anywhere from pre-World War II right up to present day. But at least a theme where you would pick particular scenes throughout New England, not necessarily anything prototypical, just things you might find in New England. And so that's how we started out, and that's what we believe we've accomplished here by doing just that. We picked one particular season around late summer, early fall to model to, so that all the trees and shrubbery and stuff were consistent as far as color and whatnot goes. But that's our theme.
So, talking about that theme, and this is one of the reasons you guys have won Best in Show, because you did a great job of carrying that throughout the entire layout. Right in front of us is a Boston and Albany depot. Tell us about that and a little history there.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we model mostly around the Boston-Albany Railroad, which runs east and west throughout the center of New England. In particular, what we're looking at right now is a typical large town that you would find in New England. But there's one particular model that is prototypical, and that is a railroad station that's right in front of us. It's a railroad station that was built, there was a number of these stations built along the Boston-Albany Railroad just about the turn of the century, around the early 1900s. And this one here is a model of the depot that was in East Brookfield up to a year ago, the town we come from.
Well, it's a great looking model. Now, one of the things about the layout is, of course, it's a big oval layout or circle layout.
That's right.
And then there's on the inside are quite some scenes as well. So let's talk about a few things on the outside of the layout. And one of the things that I think is really great about the club is you really encourage youth. And one of the corner modules, one of the younger members did a really neat farm scene. And tell us about how you encourage younger modelers.
Well, again, as you mentioned, that's something that we think is maybe, I wouldn't say unique, but a little different about our club, is that we do encourage family membership. We like to see kids come in and get involved in the club. They are the future of model railroading.
Absolutely.
And so a lot of our members have children, at various ages, from 5, 6 years old all the way up in teenage years, a little bit older. And so we do encourage them to come in and not just run trains, but actually work on the layout themselves. For example, we have a farm scene down here just to our left, and that scene was built primarily by one of our members, mostly the children of one of our members. They had a lot to do with that layout, that particular module and that farm scene, which was really, really fun for us to actually watch them do this. They did a great job.
It looks great. It's neat to cultivate some younger modelers. Let's talk about some of the scenes around the layout. So one of the things folks will definitely recognize is the Rockville Bridge.
Right. Yep. Just to our right here, we have a scene of the Rockville Bridge. Again, it's a small section of the actual Rockville Bridge that goes across the Susquehanna River down in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The actual bridge is 48 arches long. This one here is only about 4 arches long, but it's 4 feet in length, so we could never possibly have built the actual full-length bridge.
Sure.
But yeah, we have that one. We also have a couple other scenes behind us. We have a model of the Waterville Station down in Waterville, Connecticut, and some of the brass mills that are located down there. We have some city scenes. There's a city scene over in the back corner. Again, nothing prototypical there, just a city similar to what you'd find in New England.
So on the city scene, I noticed quite a few lighted billboards Also, I think there's an auto accident, looks like, downtown
Yeah,
there.
we try to make it very dynamic, the layout. We try to make it interesting for the people that come, not only for ourselves, but the people that come to visit
Sure.
at our open houses and at the show. So we've got a lot of working neon signs on the buildings, a lot of vehicles on there, and we actually created some scenes with construction work and accidents and whatnot, things that happen in the city.
Now, Larry, you're talking about a scene. There's one right behind us where a welder's working on a locomotive, and quite a big engine engine servicing facility.
Yeah.
Two for steam and diesel. Tell us a little bit about each one.
We have two scenes here. Both of them are what's considered to be locomotive facilities. The first one is a large steam locomotive facility that would be found on what used to be the Boston and Maine Railroad. Again, a New England railroad, but more focused up in northern part of New England. And you'd find all the equipment, such as the turntables and roundhouses, areas where they would actually service the steam locomotives, fill them full of water, fill them full of coal, and so on. Then right behind it is a diesel servicing facility. As railroading progressed from steam into diesel, the needs to maintain diesel were different than steam. Simpler, actually. So we built a facility for doing that. And you can see, like I said, you can see some work being done on one locomotive behind you, some welding and stuff being done.
And one of the most unique scenes I don't think I've ever seen on a layout is up in the corner is a maintenance facility, but it really uses a lot of real railroad maintenance equipment.
Right, exactly. I mean, railroads need to do a lot of maintenance on their lines, out on the tracks. Not only do repair work, but actually damage in the event of an accident, in the event of a train wreck. So we have a maintenance facility. Every major railroad has one. And it's equipped with all the equipment used for repairing track, installing track, and just doing general maintenance.
So one final scene to point out is also a car ferry, and tell us what that's patterned after.
Yeah, we have a car ferry down in New York City. They had what was called across harbors. They needed to get trains from one side of New York Harbor to the other. Rather than building bridges at the time, the easiest way to do it was actually load them on barges and move the barges with tugs. So they'd actually have a pier where the barge would pull up and the trains would actually be pushed out onto the barge. And then they'd be taken out across the harbor to over New Jersey or back into New York City and unload them there. So we have a scene that depicts that.
Well, Larry, it's all that flavor of New England that comes all together, gives your railroad a real personality, and we can certainly see why that your group earned Best in Show here at the 2012 Railroad Hobby Show. Congratulations, well-deserved, well-earned. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Shane. I really appreciate it. All right, it's a lot of fun.
Thank you.